logos or like gimmicks
It's
or
not
like
easy to
things.
brand. No,
Yeah,
you
not
said
at
it,
all.
yeah.
Didn't fucking think about that at all when I made the name. I was like, I just need a fucking name that I
I
like.
don't know. Maybe I don't see that as big of a problem because I am a admitted Twitch addict. Not as much these days. I think I've been feeling the natural slump that everyone else has, streamers included.
Yeah.
But like, um, I don't see that as a problem because when I see channels that do that, that have an, like has a name that's absolutely impossible to like jive with or brand with, they just do their pets or they just do them in a chibi way. You know, they
Yeah.
lean into it with emotes or not an overly that would be there all the time, but you know, there'd be right back screens or whatever. Um, you know, you can do the same. And it wouldn't have to be like creating a mascot or anything, or I don't know. You already have your pets and emotes, but that's what I see people do is when they, I can't even really think of an example, but when they just have a name that they can't brand off of, they just lean into something else.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just need to find that thing. I need to
Yeah,
find that
yeah.
thing. But
Easier
yeah,
said than done
it
on
is so much.
in that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about like
With that.
I know I don't have the camera on, so I can't show you, but I did. My buddy had a stream deck that he wasn't using, so I got that set up, and like that's been like super helpful. Um, like I can play sounds a lot more. I can switch to voices really like real quick now if I want to. I could do scenes switching, so I made a couple scenes. I even have like a fun little like death scene because I've been doing a lot of roguelites. Where it plays the gut song and it zooms in on my face. It's like raining and shit. So like I'm getting there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like there's stuff
So,
there. It's coming
are
along.
you okay now that you have opened that Pandora's box? Have you thought about what animation is going to go with very nice, very good, very good, very nice?
Oh no, I haven't even. It hasn't
All
even
right, we
crossed my
have
mind.
to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, yeah. So like, I want to do a lot more voice stuff and sound stuff now that I can just do. I just hit a button and
Why
it's
are
just
you gay?
perfect. You know. Um, I like the camera thing and switching scenes and doing some stuff with that. I think that's really neat. So I think like a logo, a static. I need a static starting screen because I'm tired of fucking making a new one every time I stream. I'm done with it. Don't want to
It's a
do
lot
it
of
anymore.
creative burden because you
I'm
do a good job. Like you get all that shit into Photoshop and you know edit the background, like meld it all. That's a lot of work each time.
ah. All right, I'm gonna call our world Dark Dome.
Oh, you're gonna host?
You can host if you'd like. I just already have it up. Whichever one's fine.
I am in new character, select character. So it sounds like you're closer. I don't care either way. I mean, of course, with the caveat of if we start to experience stability issues. I mean, that's not even, that's something that could happen on my end too. So
That's true. Well, I forgot. I need to make a new character, so I skipped the whole step. So that's why you're not there yet. Because I forgot. I thought I had to make the world and then the character. Wrong, sir.
well, that's fine. You got a minute because one step that I forgot was actually go live on YouTube. So now I'm waiting for that to wake up so I can even get into that chat. It's a weird thing. I know you go to studio and then like wonder if it's gonna give me a direct link I can go to because I just have a direct link on my Steam Deck or Stream Deck.
Do you
The
have like
products are
a
too similarly named.
do you have a like I'm using Restream to go to both, or are you just doing something different?
I'm using an OBS plugin,
Okay.
so I just hit start, and if I had more than just YouTube, I could go start all.
That's
but
cool.
then I'm going to the website to wait for it to say that I have a broadcast live right now, so I can Let me see what happens if I go dashboard now. But it's acting like I'm not live. Oh,
Interesting.
I am on the dashboard. And that's just delay. I mean, Twitch even doesn't think I'm live for about 5 minutes, so. But like, then I think I have to click into that to go into the chat. And I'm wondering if there's going to be like a direct link, because if there is, I can just put that on my Stream Deck, and that's how I do it for Twitch. I just have a link,
Right.
a button go right to my Twitch dashboard.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's funny. I also
Yeah.
forgot to go live on YouTube right away. I had to fix that as well.
Okay, so it went male, female. What are you gonna do as far as gender? I think I'm leaning toward another male.
I'll go female. I wish I had more hair color options, like highlights and shit. I guess I've been playing a lot of RPGs, like character creators.
Oh no.
What's up?
On that topic, I was like, hey, let's make sure I don't do the same hair as my last guy. He has a helmet on.
Oh no!
All I know is that this guy doesn't have hair below the fucking chin, because the helmet just goes all the way down to the chin. I can see nothing but his face. I did myself. Alright. I'm not gonna boot him up to see what his hair is. We're just gonna.
You roll the dice. Roll the dice. It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah. How do I? Next. I don't see a random. What I was thinking of is just doing something like very different, like a different skin tone.
Yeah.
I don't see a random. I see presets. I mean,
Yeah. A random would
let's
be
start-
awesome.
let's start with a preset that's just very different. By very
Oh.
different. Oh, okay.
Names are difficult.
This guy looks like a Tekken character.
Do the character models look a little
I love
weird in
them.
this game?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like they do in every game like this.
That's fair.
Maybe that's an easy out, but
I just feel like they're a little short and stocky.
yeah, you're not wrong. I think I have to go with this Tekken monk man. He's very different from my white boy fighter. He's not quite as dark as I thought I was gonna go, but I'm kind of taken by this chap and his
Yep.
man bun.
Do it. I'm not. I will be surprised. I thought I was gonna switch over to your stream real quick, but that's cheating. I will wait.
Oh, skin color. I think I leave it. Oh, do I fuck with the hair though? Oh, okay. He's very Asian. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't realize until we got up on his face. So he's actually not old. Maybe I could still make him old. I like the idea of Asian monk man. That's fine with me, but
Is
I
there
don't
like
like
an
the idea
age
of him
meter?
being old. I haven't gotten that far. I surely hope so.
I don't.
I'm on hair. I'm on number 3. And I thought I was going to leave the man bun, but I'm tempted to look at... Oh, that's already better. I've done the... No, I've broken the seal. I've started looking at hair. Alright, we're just going to do the elevated man bun. That's it, right? Okay, we're not going to spend a lot of time. Go. Hair color. Oh, not that white. Not that gray. That was the original color, and I'm good with it. Beard. Oh, man. I don't remember if Shield had a beard or not. I'm worried he didn't. Because if he didn't, I want this guy too. But if he
Damn it.
does, I don't want him to.
I did already use that hair. Shit. Oh well.
Yeah, you got that. That suits you.
Yeah.
And that little beard. Beard color the same. I like that actually. Monk man. Eye color. Honestly, whatever you're rocking now. Eyebrow color. Let's not get weird. Same as hair. I'm on to voice. Maybe voice is where you make them old. Maybe that's the only way. If I've
That might
gone
be
through
the
all
only
these
way.
things, preset, skin color, hair color, beard. I don't. And the name, yeah, I don't think there's any way. I like that voice. Character 3. Oh, that's not my name. What the fuck is gonna be this guy's name? Holy shit, though. Something clever, but can I do it? You're not watching the stream, you said, right?
Nope, I am
You're good.
going in blind.
Then it works. I did the thing. Okay, confirm. And now I'm the joiner, right?
Yes, I will. I'll start this up now. Dark.
Only
show friend sessions. Like that.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift
Let me
to the people of Embervale.
I'll put up a screen.
The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing.
Alright, I gotta be right back. Screen up just so when it
Once
pops, we don't have
concealed by the
Yeah.
ancients. Its might had been set free.
Good call.
With it came power, mistrust.
So what I did, I feel okay telling you this. The name I came up with is an anagram of the name of the sugar glider.
Okay. Interesting.
It was actually very easy because I knew with this monkey type guy, I knew I wanted like a name that starts with a Y. Always just automatically sounds kind of like monkey or something to me. It was very easy to start with a Y. So it's definitely not his name, and that's not a red herring. It definitely is an anagram, though.
I'm trying to figure out how to invite you. Don't quite remember. I think there's like a little. I don't know.
I can go into host and look too.
I think I just needed to like get the world open because it wasn't there. Am I silly? Okay, so okay. Yeah, I hit the wrong thing. I should be able to invite you now.
And I'm just at a screen, online games available server, and I have only show friend sessions on. So even when you get to a certain point, I may just be able to see it.
Yeah, I do think my game just crashed.
I was trying to remember when I was in settings before if this is a game I had problems with before or not.
I don't know. I'll boot it again. That could have been my fault. While it was loading, I tried to open the Steam overlay, and then it like I had a stroke while it
Hissy
did
fit.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a goddamn aneurysm.
All right, chat. You get to look at my guy. We wait. Hmm.
There we go.
Oh.
Invite sent.
The Dank Dome.
Oh no.
Asking for a password.
My game crashed again.
Uh-oh.
I think it's that issue. Maybe. No.
I mean,
it's only happening
if-
when I try to invite you.
do you want to try the other way around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. It's weird. Because, like, I was in here solo, no problem. But the 2 times it's crashed has been weirdness. Like, with multiplayer. So, I don't know.
Let's see. I'm assuming you did host. Okay.
Yes. You have to do host.
Um, uh, current host settings. Oh. Wait, what? Let's go 2 for now. Just at least one role needs to be enabled. Oh God, what is all this shit? Did you have to do all this set a password, set a server role thing?
I didn't do it, but you needed a password to get in, so it must have been preset that I didn't know about.
Me, admin, friend, helper. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, I do want that. Oh man, what was the one we used? Oh yeah.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you, Diana. Welcome.
Let's see. Okay, I can play it now.
I had a couple crashes. We're just trying to get this shit going. Push comes to shove, should this not work, I believe we can just do Brotato, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh,
This is we can link our Twitch account. I wonder if there's like some integration or something.
here we go. Okay. So I've got admin role, and then I've got friend role, and I have a separate password for friend, and it's set to 2 players. So let me finish that. Finish, and I'm gonna go play.
You know how we were talking about what should be playing when Very Good, Very Nice is played? It just
Hmm.
needs to be a faded out version of that dancing dog all over the screen. You know what I'm talking about? Like that dog and that kid dancing?
Not off the top of my head.
Alright, I'll send it to you later.
Oh, here you go, chap. More. See, that's weird. My YouTube is not acting like it's started.
Hmm.
Holy bejesus.
What's up?
My thank you very much for the follow.
Oh,
John
hell yeah.
Batista. It's just very my follow alert is very loud.
Scared you.
It did. And it's a very nice sound, so it shouldn't scare me. Welcome in. Awake. I mean, I might crash too. Oh, I mean, okay. I got the little human pot I come out of.
Okay, alright.
Here I come. With my man bun. Y'all aren't ready for this? Oh, we in. Now, if I remember right, though, you really can't do shit until you're out of, like, the catacomb area.
You should be able to invite me,
Oh. Yeah, we'll try.
yeah, because if you crash, then we just should pivot, you know?
So, did you do it from Steam? Or did you find a
I
way
couldn't
in?
see, and I had to do it through Steam. Couldn't find another way to do it.
Yeah, I am having the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna put my Be Right Back screen up so I can send you the password too. It will be one you recognize. So that's specifically for the friend role, because they made me set a different password for the admin role, but I thought it would be
So-
important for one of us to be able to kick, and I didn't want to play around with like, oh, you only have one admin. Bleh.
Yeah, nah, fuck
Um,
that.
Okay,
We should
let
be,
me
we should be getting
invite.
Isaac soon, right?
Very soon, I think. Yeah. I've been so bad about keeping up on like news and releases, so I couldn't tell you when exactly, but
Well, I mean, in your defense, he has a habit of just changing shit. Like
Invite
delaying it.
it's true. Okay, I sent you an invite.
Okay. Now I just need the password. You
In
sent it
Discord.
to me.
Yep.
I'm joining supposedly. I crashed.
So probably is that issue.
It's a me problem.
Well, the good news is if you tweak XTU, it's very there's no risk involved and you don't have to restart your PC at all. You can just like go down one more value and
Yeah.
literally relaunch the game and you'll be able to tell if that makes a difference.
Thanks,
was-
Intel.
That was the dance I got into with it myself.
It's so cool that you did this to me. It's so cool that Intel is killing itself on my computer. There's nothing I can do to stop it. That's so neat. That's so neat and cool of them.
I know.
I wonder why it's only happening when I'm trying to engage multiplayer, though. That part is weird.
It is.
All right, let's try this one more time. Do you want to send me an invite?
Okay.
Oh, no. I may have just crashed. I lowered it and I crashed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I remember this was at one point in time a problem game for me in particular.
All right.
So I am still thinking it is this issue, and there were games I had to go even lower on, but that's not me saying that that is gonna fix it for you.
Yeah. I'm bummed out. Sorry.
It is totally fair to be bummed out. I feel like I fought through this issue in what I would consider the early days of it, but even when I was troubleshooting it, there were a number of articles on like, yes, XTU is super fine to use and it's not going to fix the issue.
Yeah.
It's just going to delay the inevitable. But
Basically, my processor is faulty. No fault of my own. A bunch of them were just sent out like that. My understanding of the situation is it's overclocking itself, and every time it crashes, it causes permanent damage to itself. The only saving grace is it's a very strong processor, so like, you know, should still be fine for a while. I hope, but yeah. So this game doesn't want to work. Yeah, I'd have to like fiddle with it. So do you want to do Brotato, or do you want me to keep trying to get this to work?
what's your value right now? And do you remember what it was?
Yeah, so it
Like,
started at
originally?
55,
Okay.
and I put it down to 54, and that has worked beautifully with everything except this. So I just lowered it to 53. And that I crashed in the menu that time when normally, I got in and was chilling for a while. It was just when I was trying to engage in the multiplayer that it crashed.
Try one more time, one more value down, and if that doesn't do it, bump yourself back up to 54 and we'll Brotato.
All right.
That won't disappoint me. I have the luxury of being afflicted by the same condition. I understand completely. There's no
Instru-
need for sympathy or sympathy, of course I have, but there's no need for empathy because I suffer too. I went, dog. I think I'm at 51 right now. Honestly, I just went to 51. That's my new normal, and thus far, again, not an endorsement for 51. These numbers are so fucking idiosyncratic to like your system and the other shit going on. Um, but I just gave up, went to 51, and that has miraculously worked. But I'm also not playing a bunch of different games all the time.
That's fair. I crashed again.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
opened it and I actually got like an error message this time. A MIDI dump has been created. So, yeah. I
so
don't think.
weird how you get so many different experiences just by going one. It's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But it is what it is. Let's do some Brotato. Do people stream Brotato? I guess.
Yeah.
I'm still of the opinion that unfortunately, sorry chat, sometimes these games I like playing these games. I don't know how fun they are to watch, but we're gonna find out.
I think I'm gonna do a little bit more to like voice what I'm doing with my build.
Yeah, it's a good way
But
to do it.
other than that, yeah. I mean, I'm in the same boat with you. It's not at this point they're just tuning in to watch two dudes hang out, honestly.
Hanging out.
But like yeah, it's hard to think that this is like premium entertainment for anyone, the Brotato. However, that said though, music always banging. The little monsters, especially in the Abyss, very cute.
Yeah.
Dana played the DLC for the first time last night with me on
Oh,
my
that's cool.
file, and she loved it.
That makes sense. Let's
Huh.
boost this music a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, let me. I'm gonna change my particulars, my title, and all that. Tato time.
You can turn off the old tracks, which were objectively worse in every way.
I say go for it. However, the reason I haven't done that myself on my file is I feel like diluting the really good new tracks with the old okay tracks will make the longevity of the really good tracks really good. Just, because of how the human mind works and repetition. So I keep them in there just because they make me appreciate the really good ones that much more. Mind freak.
Mine, Chris Angel.
Say pocket sand. I don't know. I wanted to say pocket sand there. It seems like he would have a pocket.
He's a
full of
pocket
glitter.
set, yeah.
And-
He's a pocket glitter guy for sure.
Plus, I mean, honestly, I think for people that watch people that play Brotato, because people watch Cobalt play it, they're there for the banter. They're there to watch. I don't know. They're not there for the difficulty. They're there for the banter and the personality. So, I think it does. A game like this does free you up to be a little bit more chatty, a little bit more present, because of what Tato is.
You're not wrong, but something about these games, I mean, it's a compliment to them. They put me to sleep. And I mean that in the best way. Like, I love these games because I can play them at night and it actually lulls me to sleep. Like, it is a perfect wind down game.
Nope, absolutely. And yeah, again, all that said, going back to it, I don't really watch them either. I have them on for Cobalt because I'm in that community. I know people, and it's always background though. So I think most people are like that. You tabbed out, right?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, yeah, no, you're good. I just want to make sure it wasn't.
Yeah,
an
I'm back
issue.
in. I'm gonna be a baby,
Taking
and
this-
I'm gonna keep being a baby until I figure out how to be a goddamn motherfucking baby.
Okay, let me read this guy before you hit him in. So he loves harvesting. Shit's expensive.
I love the mage.
Oh, the fucking one item at a time. Okay.
One item at a time.
Yeah. You get
Oh,
a
no,
weapon
no.
slot.
Oh, you're reading my thing. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, I'm
didn't.
reading your thing.
I was so.
Because I'm not playing mage. I'm gonna synergize with baby.
Yeah. So like, I can't have. I have bad health. Bad health, and I don't get stats. So it's all through weapons. So I need to pray that I get the ethereal weapons early.
You down for a little insanity? This might help you get materials and stuff.
Yeah. So how do you? Let me read your guy.
So I played this guy with Dana last night, and I kind of love him. The most important. Holy shit! Thank you for the fucking follow that every time scares the living bejesus out of me.
That's twice tonight. Oh.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
changed
no.
my shit. I was midway through doing that. That's why. Check and come with me. I think that's a bot.
Yeah. We take what we can get.
Not a bot that's trying to sell me views directly, though. I
Hey,
can say that.
we like those bots.
It's just a bot that's trying to get me to
Yeah.
potentially add him on Discord to then sell me services. But, you know, I'll take the 1 degree of separation.
That's fair.
Okay. So yeah, so what do you think about this guy? The really crazy part is the plus map size and the plus enemies. That's the thing that's going to affect us most. But I loved him. I
I'm,
had so much fun with him.
I'm willing to try.
Oh, okay. I'll lock him in. Actually, I just had a revelation. I can turn my sampler volume down before the next bot hits. No offense if you're a real viewer, but I am pretty convinced you're because you.
Hey, blink twice if you're a real person.
Viewing, there's no one viewing. A, that's the biggest thing, and B, like that message is super manicured. Oh, okay. Samples. Turn that down. Actually, that's the thing. We'll do line in. Okay. Might as well work all the kinks out. Not like you're talking about rebranding and shit. Fucking, I just got to stream if I'm like not even here,
You're
which has
good.
been suiting me just fine.
I'm actually, yeah, I had to walk away from my computer real quick, so I feel you. What's that?
Hmm?
Sorry, I was talking to Brenda. Going to grab myself a drink real quick.
But I mean, like, I have not been streaming. And
Yeah.
one thing that you need if you want to build any kind of audience, even 1-2 randos, is some consistency. Even if you're only going to stream once or twice a week, it's got to be somewhat consistent with the live format, or people just fucking move on. So
Yeah.
I accept that, but I'm, you know,
Yeah, I've also, I mean, I've streamed a couple more times than you, but like. Not really anywhere near what I would call consistent, so.
Yeah. But more is something. I really haven't been doing it at all, which is fine. It's like, you know, been working for my situation, but
Alright, I am back to my computer.
Alright, I think I'm gonna give up on YouTube because I just OBS says we've started, but nothing on.
The YouTube live thing.
Yeah, it says channel dashboard latest live stream performance, and it's the one from the metaphor.
Yeah, that's not right.
You know what? Let me go. Huh. Videos. Live.
So the map's gonna be bigger, and there's gonna be more enemies.
Yep. Sorry. I'm gonna stop it and restart it, I guess, because it does not act like I'm streaming.
Like track. What the fuck is this? The Buccaneer! Picked up materials have 100% plus value. Oh, that's cool.
Give that a little bit of time to cook.
Have you read The Buccaneer?
Mm-mm.
That's really cool.
See, more value. Oh yeah, that's right. I did read him once. He's like, you just want all your hands full of like rocket launchers and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just go to town.
And then you want like the baby gecko, alien tongue, all the things that bring the materials to you, yeah. I had a really broken build. It wasn't this one, it was the game we played before the Explorer, where I was the masochist and I got 2 iterations, like I got offered twice the item that gives you 40 harvesting and damages you every second.
Oh, okay.
So every second my damage was going up by 5%, even if I didn't get hit by an enemy, for only the cost of 1 HP. And they start you with enough HP regen and stuff to way outpace that. I checked at the end of round, because you start the round with minus 100% damage. And when I ended round 12, I was at plus 178% damage.
Oh, God.
And then I got a second one. So that shit was crazy. We ate that boss for dinner.
We're cranking it out.
Alright, this guy, you always hiking poles. You want all the hiking poles. And if they're not hiking poles, you want them to be this. The jousting lance.
There's no reason to not take the hiking pole. Ever.
I think the only reason you won't want to take it is I think the damage output is pretty low. But I mean, you can scale that with your stats, so.
I think we gotta do 4 because I want to unlock 5.
Wait, are we on Abyss though, or?
No, we're on Crash.
Oh, okay. All right. I gotta run. The Pocket Factory is the fucking get for this one, because when they say that the Explorer finds more trees,
They mean
it's
it.
an understatement. It's like quadruple. So, and we get offered trees a lot more often, at least I do.
You need that lumberjack shirt.
I start with one innately.
Never mind. You're set. You're set. You're just gonna fuck them trees. Yeah, there you go. You want to fuck them trees? I know you do.
I mean, damage, but really, I'll take luck. I want speed though.
Okay, I only have one weapon.
Jousting Lance, thank you.
I'll take Scar and just have the fucking hiking pole negate
Yeah,
the
I've
minus
taken two.
range.
Yep, I've taken 2 scars already.
I see
This
that.
early, those are so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good this early. And yeah, if we're moving, we're creating range, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I just played this guy like everything that benefits me moving. Yeah, I don't build elemental damage very often.
I gotta take max HP wherever I can get it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Run. I want a penguin.
Who doesn't want a penguin? A penguin, if you will.
Penguin. We actually started watching the Penguin on HBO.
Is it good? I don't have HBO, but I've heard
It's so fucking good, actually. Yeah.
I've heard
I don't
nothing
do-
but fantastic things.
Yeah, I don't do comic shit, and yeah, it's it's really good. We finished episode 3, which I know in like I heard the finale's good, but of all of the like 1 through I think 8, other than the finale, I did hear 3 is one of the best, and yeah, goddamn, very good. Can recommend. I'm not a comic guy either. Like, cannot stress that enough. Ooh, I'm a hiking pole man. Boxing
both-
boy.
We're both hiking pole right now.
I mean, this is the map for it. Yeah, pruners, hiking poles. That's all I want to see too.
Tomorrow is my last day at Univision.
Hell yeah.
Just got a big old email. Just check this out real quick.
Dude, speaking of email, I shouldn't say too much about this. I'm not going to say who I work for or anything, but the corporate side of where I work renegotiated a consulting contract that is leading to many people getting displaced, we'll say. So we just got that news at like 3 o'clock today.
So you guys redid a deal and people are getting fired.
Pretty much.
That's fucked.
Yep.
That's awful.
Yep. No one in our division, but like, it's going to touch a lot of people on the corporate side.
Do we like the people it's touching on the corporate side? Because corporate can be cucks sometimes.
No.
Alright.
No. I don't dislike them enough to be happy that they're
Fair
going to
enough.
find more new work. Like, I can say that much. But in my heart of hearts, no. That's one of the reasons I have no hope of like another position within this company. I think it's a company problem that is shared That just presents different for the corporate side versus our division. It's definitely going to mean some entropy, some changes. That part's not great. Obviously, people losing their job is never good.
No. No, it's not. People don't. I mean, that sucks. That is a bummer.
But it is all consulting contracts, so I think a lot of these people definitely more than people like me, are used to not necessarily turnover, but, well, yeah, turnover. Like, that's kind of what consulting's all about, is you're not usually at the same place forever unless you like that place enough to stop consulting and go back to 1099 is kind of how they usually call it. If you're not on 1099, usually consulting, you're a small business consulting or you're an individual consulting, and then they usually say, in my world at least, I'm back on a W2 or 1099 or whatever the one is. So
Gotcha.
so it's people like that, but they're people with a consulting firm that have been held for a long time, so they've gotten very used to it.
Okay.
And some of those people are getting hired by the new consulting firm, but I think the announcement and the tone of it was apparent from my boss that it's a downsize, that no matter how well this new consulting firm runs things, the contract is like for fewer people, just across the board.
Right.
He listed out multiple teams, and all those teams, except for one, I deal with pretty much any time an issue happens.
So big changes.
Yeah, for that side of the house. For some people in my team, the way that my boss put it is like, there are going to have to be strategies to figure out how to do their job, because we're losing literally the only person that had knowledge on what they were doing. I am not in
Yikes.
that position, fortunately. The people that I deal with from the corporate side are part of the biggest teams they have. And so those teams, when stuff breaks, which is when I get involved, still have to present someone. They still have to present someone that can get onto the servers. They still have to present someone that has access to the databases. And they most certainly still have to be available to open the bridge themselves. And all the teams that I just mentioned are experiencing layoffs.
Ugh.
So it's just going to be like less knowledgeable people, more overworked people that I deal with. Is kind of how it's going to manifest for me.
Huh.
But yeah, big change, and definitely like my boss was heard to say, quote, I don't ever like having to give news or have meetings like this. And the very, very first thing he said was, he's like, the first thing I want to say is, when your boss calls a meeting like this, where he says, drop everything and attend no matter what, the first question is, am I losing my job? And he's like, I want to say first that no one in our division, no one on this call is in jeopardy of losing their job. And then he said, that said, I'll get into the fact that, ooh, wow, okay. Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're
Holy
good.
shit. He's like, that said, there are going to be big changes for some of you people you've worked with every single day that by the end of this calendar year will experience their change. He said you're going to lose experts, you're going to, lose names that you're used to seeing. And again, that for me, for what it's worth, doesn't apply. I don't interact. God damn, yes, please. Yes, please. We kind of just pull someone from a team. And those teams may lose 2 to 3 people. And that's a lot across the board, but those teams have really like an army of people, staffing them to a certain degree. So there's still going to be people on 24/7 on all the teams I named, and those are only teams I deal with, and no one specific.
Huh.
How we troubleshoot stuff is usually we call them resolvers. The resolvers that get on the call are usually people from our division that know the application that's breaking. And the people that I just mentioned are facilitators. People that open the bridge, that's knock. They have some monitoring and reporting where they can tell if like a site's down, like an actual physical site is not getting power or internet. They can tell if certain big servers and database servers are down. But usually someone from the division has to get on to investigate, have the middleware person that's on the server show them the server, go through, okay, is this service running? Let's restart that one, see, troubleshoot. But they're facilitating. So we just have a different facilitator. And that sounds terrible. I'm talking about human beings, but that's going to be my experience of it. For other people, they've got one person in middleware that has been touching only their servers for like the last, I don't know, on assignment. It could be 2 years, and that could be a very long time for a consultant. And then poof, that person's gone. And you really don't know if you're going to get a replacement or
It's
not
worthy.
at this point.
Yeah. And even if you do, are they going to be good? As good as that
Yeah.
person?
You're going to have to feed them everything. And in a lot of cases, my boss has said the documentation, the information, the people that would teach them, it doesn't exist. There is nothing to pass on to the next person in some of these cases.
Jeez, that just sounds like a big fuck up.
That's why I gotta go, man.
Like,
this is
why?
everywhere. You turn a
Like-
corner and there's a thing like that. Yeah.
You don't make this change if you don't have the infrastructure ready to handle this change. And it sounds like a change was made and nobody was fucking prepared.
Yeah. And then I feel like even though it's not a change that necessarily affects us too much directly, and I do appreciate my boss getting out in front of it and letting us know, he did very much verbatim say, I have very little information. Literally, much of this is still caught up in NDA. So there's parts I don't know, there's parts I can't say. And then here's what he said. He said, I know some of the names that are being let go. What we're gonna do, based on what I said of work getting held up in some cases because of experts being lost, in some cases the only domain experts being lost, I'm gonna create a group IM. And this all hands meeting was like 20 people managed by this one guy, my boss. So this 20-person IM thread, he's like, if you can think of anyone in corporate that you can't do without,
Oh my god,
put
no!
it, yeah, put it in. Yeah, exactly.
No!
Yeah, man.
What
Yeah,
the
man.
fuck?
Yeah. Put it in this public IM thread that all of you are gonna mute immediately, and just throw names out, basically. And like, he doesn't. I know he doesn't think this way, but he's basically being like, guess who got fired? Play pin the tail on the fucking layoff. Like, this is such a bad way to handle it, man. But he's obsessed with an IM thread because he's forever connected to his devices, so he can get his email on phone and Teams on his phone. So he wants all of our documentation, everything on Teams, all the important stuff. He just the other week, because he's just nutty with these changes. The other week, and I'll get off it. Like, he all of a sudden is like, okay, here's this IM thread, and whenever an issue happens, on business hours or not, come in here and say, I got it, so I know who got it. You know who got it? Me or Esther. That's who's got it. 2 people, one of 2 people. He already has a thread going with the 2 of us just for that. What he has added are more managers to get in and do the little micromanaging.
Okay,
Just,
yeah.
It's inefficiency after inefficiency, so he can feel more connected at the fucking tap of an index finger. It's insane. The mental health issues at this place of like, the dissonance of people saying work-life balance is important, yet it's never been worse at a company in my life.
Well, you know what you got to do. You're taking steps to do it.
I do. I need to take more steps. I haven't done anything since that day I failed twice, other than try to reach out to people to get answers, both calling and leaving voicemails, emailing, and putting in support tickets to the DHS. I can't get a straight answer. The best I got the other day was I went to the public forum, and if you remember, I said that sorry, I just want to let you get through it before I jibber jabber. One of the only question that they had that involved multiple pages on the practice exam were these two things that involved consistent identification and consistent navigation. Those are very easy to explain. You go to a website, it has 5 links. When you click that link, the link tree at the top is the same order every time. And when you use a screen reader, the text information in the HTML tag for the link is the same for every page. That's all that is. And on the practice exam, those were the only times when you ever were presented with more than one page. With any penguin, with even a page with any link that was live. Then we cut to the final exam, where I would say 60% of the questions present you on a page at random that is a part of 3. And most of the questions do not have to do with multiple pages. So finally, I went to a forum for the consistent navigation, because the only way you can ask a question in a forum is to pick the topic it applies to. There's no ask a question about the final exam, ask a question about certification. It's like, ask a question about parsing, ask a question about contrast comparisons on website colors and images of text. So I went to the only one that dealt with multiple web pages. And I said, hey, on the practice exam, when it comes up with this specific product site, do I test all pages or only the one I'm presenting on? And no one from the agency has replied back. But there was a very nice woman who's like, I was in your exact position. I was at my last attempt. I had the same question. What I did is I went under the assumption that it was just a single page, and I passed, but not enough. I see. But not enough to say that what I did was right. And I'm like, God damn it, that's my exact situation, man. That's literally exactly the point. I got 9 more right. I don't know if that's because I was sick and I just had exposure and I got 9 better, not related to that site at all. Or if I can confidently say, I go back, I do it my 3rd time, I do with only the single sites, and I pass, like this woman did. I'm like, I'm freaking, man. I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, it's a week and I haven't touched this thing. I'm going to start forgetting this stuff. You know? It's like... But if I can't get a hold of them to tell me how to help with the test, I don't know if I can get a hold of them to unlock the test should I fail again. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they sound very helpful.
It's the government. It's the literal Department of Homeland Security. It's like stereotypes, you know, exist for a reason. And I actually vented a lot with the person that got me the job today, whose husband works for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm sure doing nothing with this accessibility stuff. But she told me she worked with them for a month before she had to hit the escape hatch. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm getting a good answer from that agency. So I don't know. You know, I think I probably should just take it a 3rd time when I'm in a really good place, when I'm not stressed out. take the practice exam at least one more time to make sure I haven't forgotten everything. And just really take my time with it and pray. Pray I don't get that site, questions with that site very much, because I could be waiting months, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, the government doesn't do anything efficiently, and the fact that you just, you know, oh boy, it's on me. The fact that you know, have tried multiple times to like get a hold of someone and you just haven't, like, you know, par for the course.
Yeah. And like it's you know, I've come from the IT world, which is a non-business, non-revenue generating business unit is the official way of saying it. We don't make money, we eat money. I have to assume that an accessibility department at the United States government is the same way. And so when they're underfunded or entering a bad administration, that's all I'm going to say. They're probably the last people on earth that are going to be staffed well enough to help me with my tests. So yeah. I've set my expectations, you know. I really have. But it is a bummer because, man, I got through that 80 hours, that up to 80 hours of coursework. It's done, man. I'm on a 180-day, I know it's a half a year, it's a long time, but in 180 days from when I took my first class, that shit expires. And I have to wait a calendar year to do any of it again. So I want to do it, man. You know?
Yeah.
I know the shit well enough. Fucking 93 proves it on the practice exam. It's all the same shit. It's just configured in this way that you don't know how much you have to test. I might be crazy, but I've never found tardigrade to be worth it. I feel like I take too much damage for just the first hit to be nullified.
It's really good for a dodge build.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Alright, I need power pruner. I'll take a white flag.
Yeah, I got one as well. I accidentally tanked my speed, so I'm like a fucking sitting duck right now.
Glad you said that when you did, because I'll just kind of keep the boss's attention a little bit, because I am a speedy boy.
Yeah, I'm having a hard enough time with just these guys.
And I still like to schmoo. All the poles.
Oh!
Oh, he peeled. No. He peeled.
Yeah, he peeled me.
He did. What we need is a pocket factory. All these fucking trees. Oh god, it's 20 seconds still. Yeah. Actually, I think this phase is easier for me to...
I need fucking speed. I need it in the worst way. Hey.
Oh, doggy.
Way to clutch it out.
For the melee. Alright, less enemies. I'm broke.
I don't want to die. Look how slow I am.
Oh, yeah. You are slow.
And I just don't have the build to be this slow.
I'll try to orbit you.
I
Oh,
appreciate it.
we got the roly
Oh.
polies this round too. That's
Yeah.
been good for
unfortunate.
either of us.
You just focus on living, because you're probably the only way we're getting through this.
Alright, I'm gonna go eat all the fruit I can for the
You
penguin.
do it, man. You do it.
Gotta get my HP regen through the roof. If these trees all start spawning turrets though for us, I think it'll be a different game.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Hey, you live.
I did live. I
Lovely.
don't know how I lived, but I did live. Okay, I'll take this. Ooh. I like that, but I don't want to take anything else that's gonna like tank my speed. Oh, there we
Oh
go.
man. How much HP do I lose? 2? 3? Oh, I can take it.
Alright. I got a little bit of speed back.
We better use it.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason I'm not dying is I'm not. They're not keeping. I want to say baby in a corner, but you are baby. Oh.
I died.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they-
kept baby in a corner. Yeah.
As you said, baby in a corner, I got caught in a corner and died. You manifested it.
I
You know
don't.
that.
I hate. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
What a fantastic
I
movie.
don't know how I'm gonna fare. That's a very hard way. I'm really fucking trying. I think I actually might be okay, but there's a lot of time left. Give me the
I
fruit.
got caught. I got caught in a corner. It wasn't great.
I was really not saying baby in a corner for a reason.
Oh, I know. It's like that one time you were like,
Uh,
"Don't step on mushrooms."
Oh God, why would you? Oh man, I think I just need to live, yeah. I'm not gonna stand still on this map.
Yep. Just go. Play your life.
No one wants to stand still on this map.
I mean, you made it bigger for a reason. So we can run free.
Yep. Ouch. Love living inside of the projectile as it goes in its path.
Yeah. And I'm down.
I'm.
And you're
Yep.
down. Hey, it's okay. Hey,
I
we
mean,
lost
that's
somebody.
4. Nice. Okay.
Speedy.
All the speed I put on. I mean, that's D4. That's kind of par for the course.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care that we lost. Is what I'm saying.
Plus, we
What?
just won't make the map big again.
Mia. What the fuck can I do?
So this guy wants dodge. He needs something to compensate for his attack speed. Well, no, I only take medical. So you don't really need attack speed 'cause it's double. You get the plus 100, another 100.
Hi,
Just
Stinky.
100% attack speed. You want HP regen. Playing into that harvesting is good. I love Doctor. Gun.
I'm gonna go ethereal.
Gun. Going for the dodge then.
Yep, going for the dodge, trying to get my stats up with that.
I definitely have to go dodge too. He's the negative armor boy.
We're both negative armor boys. Dodge. Ooh, God, I love an early coupon. Nothing better than a round 1 coupon. I mean, fuck, I'll take a hiking ball. I don't give a shit. Think I won't?
Love hyperball.
It's a good one. Does that scale off luck?
I don't know. Oh, hey. Got something to be interested in and that chat might be interested in us talking about. I tried the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rogue, I don't know if you call it a roguelike. That
Splintered
plays like
Fate?
Hades.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yep. It was fun. There
I
are
tried- Go ahead.
You tried. No, go ahead.
I played the demo. I liked it. It was fun.
There are some pretty major flaws that need to be ironed out with multiplayer, but I had fun. The other thing that they can't iron out, though, is the $30 price tag. And I understand it's for the Turtles IP, but for a game in that genre, it's not. It's kind of unconscionably high, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's not like you're getting the quality of Hades too.
I
Or
mean,
Hades.
you're not, but it's not like it's in a different league, I would say.
That's good.
I just feel like they went with the art style, and honestly, that's probably the thing I liked about it the most. The art is so clean. It's like, I mean, the menus, like picking the stuff, is not the hardest menu I've hit. The hardest one is probably Vampire Survivors, but it's not the easiest. But the actual environments fighting in them have, I don't know, people might even complain that it's simple, like the backgrounds are simple, but it's just not a bunch of shit there for shit's sake. And it ends up being a lot easier for me to tell where I am. And then one thing I will say is, because of issues with box remote play, we played the entire game without sound, and we got 3 bosses in, and I was going only by, of course, visuals and the vibration on the controller.
That's
So-
Bach has it.
Yeah, he's the one that bought it, and then Panda and I were fucking leeching off of.
That's fun.
But the feedback, like every time it would project a field visually, you'd get a little rumble. And when you fought a boss that was going to do a big full room charge, it would rumble longer. So like the quality of life, I don't know, I don't even know if I call that accessibility, just the way that it interacts with the player is just very playable. It's just very like, I couldn't believe that how little I felt like I was not missing without sound.
I could be wrong, but I think that this was a Switch game. This is coming.
Oh, that makes sense with the graphics.
That's probably why it's a very minimal, clean style. but like I like that style as well. Like I said, I played the
Oh.
demo and I was like, like I felt that like some of the animations were a little stiff, but I think
Yes.
it fit with the game. Um, and yeah, I really liked it.
But fun is definitely something that I had. Like we were not having to think too hard about it. There are definitely some things that got to change with multiplayer. The map doesn't adjust. There's no zoom out, and there's not even an off map marker. You just go off screen. And in a game like Hades, where we had 3 people, and by wave 3, we could have all had double dash. If you all decide to dodge in different directions with double dash as 3 characters, it only keeps one of you on the screen. Meanwhile, the other 2, you're getting beat to hell or hitting traps or running into walls. You don't even have the indicator that shows what direction you're off map on.
Yeah.
It's the oversight of all oversights. I can't believe it made out of QA like that. Because it has a couch co-op as single player, couch co-op, and then not couch co-op. So we figure that not couch co-op, the camera probably just looks to you and only you. But in couch co-op, that's unforgivable, man. You
Yeah.
have to code the game to zoom out, or the bare ass minimum, and I wouldn't even say it's acceptable anymore, is a little blinking thing of Donatello's head off screen until he's on screen. Or
An
a little
icon
arrow.
would be nice.
Yeah, just an icon, something, anything. It
Yeah.
can't be nothing though. That was insane. Made it unplayable in some areas where it's like, oh, okay, you guys went that way, and they weren't being assholes. They just went one way. I saw some enemies down another alleyway, or Panda did, and suddenly, bloop, they're gone. So, but that's one of those things that, like, there's no way that doesn't get addressed eventually.
You'd hope so.
And the bones are good. It was fun. That's the most important thing. With this genre being saturated as it is, gotta be fun. Can't just rely on the Turtles IP, because I have no real nostalgia for that. I was the right age. I was just, I don't know, doing other things. So if it was just fun because it's Turtles, look, I didn't hear the dialogue, so I didn't hear any of the voice acting, none of the music.
Gameplay we're judging.
Just the gameplay. Yeah, just the gameplay was fun. That's enough. Well, not for me to buy it at $30, I will say.
I've been speaking of Hades, I've been putting heavy hours into Hades 2 recently.
Oh, really?
Oh god. I can't wait till you start playing. It's gonna be fun to talk about it. But yeah, it is just so good. I hit I had like the runs of my life, like back to back. Thought I was gonna actually beat the game, like legitimately. I was like, I might do this, and obviously, some tomfoolery happened. It's honestly Zeus's fault. Do you remember in the first game when you could pick between 2 boons and then one would get pissed off?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, I did that right before I was about to fight the final boss, and Zeus fucked me so goddamn motherfucking hard that both of my revives got used up literally the room before the final boss because of him.
Yikes.
And I still thought I was going to beat it. It was like, I don't know. I entered a flow state. I'll never achieve it again.
That part's not true.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot. Good game, very good game.
All I've been playing is the Mersona. But that shit That
Yeah.
shit good. That shit good. My clock says 40 hours at
Nice.
level 35-ish. I'm a grind fiend. I haven't hit a dungeon in the past 2 dungeons where anything lives in the overworld. I would have to not hit it to get into a turn-based battle with it. That's how fucking strong I am. And I go in there, and the other day I remembered that items exist that raise the experience level of your archetypes, of your classes. And I looked and I had like 60 of the fuckers. So I just bing, bing, bing. It's Christmas time. Bing, 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 bing. Oh, I have a fucking duty to get this guy to level 15 for my next major quest in this area. Okay, boop, 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 boop. Done. It's done. Like, dude, it's so good. And then I run around and do a circuit and reward myself by using a few of them, and then run around and do a circuit. Fucking the characters are all good. I haven't even met all of them yet, but that cutie man I showed you, he's so fucking good. The red-haired elf chick, every other line of hers makes me want to pinch her character model, because it's like someone met Dana. It's like so much of her character, if you were to stereotype Dana, is Dana. In the most like endearing way possible, because the writing is good. They're all so likable.
That's cute.
If not just for the singular reason that no character is any just one token thing. There are at least 2 token things. The cutie man. He's not just the cutie man, he's also the fucking vigilant thiefy knight type with the most tragic backstory, and he's honorable and he's fair and he teaches you how to fight. And when you go into the little between rooms, I don't know if you remember those from Persona, the
Yes.
safe rooms.
Yeah.
First time you go in one, he goes in the right way up, and then the minute you go into comfort mode and everyone sits down, he just floops upside down and hangs from the fucking ceiling. It just gets better and better with the characters.
That's awesome.
Just writing's really good with those. Like, they're just at the height of it with the game. And it makes sense because they can make high schoolers appealing. Of course they can make a fucking walking sugar glider with goddamn anime eyes and anime happy 3 mouth. Like, they damn well better be able to knock it out of the park, but they really did. The game is fun. The characters are like, I'm thinking and talking about them outside of the game. That doesn't happen with many games. The base story is whatever, but it is timely in a way that is not going to make you cringe, in a way that I would say is going to make you think, maybe make you feel, if you're the type of person that doesn't think about stuff in society too much, which is not you. But like, the beats that happen are, very tropey. But again, I think that's
anime.
okay. It's anime and it's medieval. This is the first of its kind to really go tonally in like a thematic direction, because Persona is high school, and then everything that isn't Persona, I think I was saying this the other day, is this weird Matrix land. Is like Digital Devil's Saga, or straight SMT. And SMT might as well be Digital Devil Saga, because it's just Persona without the time. It's the same monsters. It's usually kind of cosmic horror, but kind of has some space elements to it. This is the very first game that Atlus has made with the Persona game model and a calendar time social simulator that has really chosen a lane that isn't high school. So again, when Yahtzee's like, oh, it's like stock opera song. No, Do you have like selective hearing? You can't hear rapping monks? First of all. Second of all, even if it didn't have the rapping monk, it's going for a vibe and it nails it every single time. And I think there's enough to be said for just nailing a vibe. In fact, I had to even agree with Yahtzee again today because I was watching a streamer who's very intelligent with his the music he plays. So he loves mainstream music. His favorite band is Weezer. I can't even tell you who it is after that comment because I don't want to nice Pocket Factory. I won't debate it because I do not agree. Yes.
favorite
Yeah.
band?
That's I can't repeat it. I can't tell
No.
you who it is.
Listen, I like Weezer. Don't get me wrong. They
My
have
favorite
some good
band.
songs.
It's like a thing to say. Yeah. And it's true of this person. But he's very intelligent. He'll find so he loves Persona music, but he'll find an artist covering it. And so there was like this it was even just a Velvet Room song, but it was like a violin solo of the Velvet Room or something. No, it was definitely a P5 song. It was one of the songs that she sings because there were no vocals in it. It was all instrumental. And I was like, okay, when Yahtzee says it's stock generic music, which I don't agree with, versus the best music ever made, Persona 5, I can't disagree with that. This fucking, you can remix Persona 5, you can take her vocals out, you can do just the fucking hi-hats of the it doesn't matter. That it's pure fucking funk. Like every song in P5 is like made in a lab to fit the vibe and just be a banger. And I can't disagree with that.
Well, I mean, P5 is a special game. That's why I think
Yeah.
it's so. I think a lot of people thought that it was going to be difficult for them to follow up P5, and I think they did the right thing by kind of shifting directions after P5.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
like for that direction shift to resonate so strongly is awesome. I don't think they expected that.
They're just at the height of it. You know how they say that WoW became WoW not because it innovated, but because it just made all the right decisions about what to take from other things and what not to take from other things?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the gameplay of Metaphor. Is they're not, if anything, they've gone simpler. And there's precedent for that, right? They weave in and out of the Pokemon model. SMT5 Vengeance goes back into Pokemon. That's the other brilliant thing. They didn't do two Pokemon ones back to back. Since SMT just recently got the PC port, they have if you want the Pokemon Persona game, you play SMT. If you want a story that you can debate the quality of, but a meaty ass story like Persona, you play Metaphor. And where they kind of backtracked it is you don't catch Pokemon, you don't fuse them, you have classes, but like a job system from like an old Final Fantasy, you can combine them and create these Frankensteins that require, level 20 here, 15 here, 10 here, and then you can make the fiery monk or whatever,
That's
It's all the
very
shit you
old
want.
school Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and kind of a step back to simplicity in a way, I would argue. But it's great. It allows the other elements to shine. It allows everything that they simplify. I feel they cut only chafe away, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah. They trimmed the fat.
You can fast travel everywhere. In fact, there's a gimmick where when you move around the map, it takes time. But when you go back to town, no matter where you are, you warp like Doctor Who. They even made a warp sequence that you look like fucking Doctor Who.
Perfect.
But it's brilliant because you only use time one way. You know how you warp? You hit the right bumper and you choose your town. Then you're in that entire region's warp points. And the warp points go your 3 different maps. You know, one's a market, one's a street, one's a wharf, let's say. But then you can just warp to the weapons shop or the item shop or where you go to purify weapons to make them stronger or the inn to get more informant stuff. You don't, once you go there once, you never ever have to travel there like a pleb again. You hit one button on the controller and then another button to tell it where to go, and you are there, and you don't use any time. They don't waste your time at all. When you go to spend time with a bond, it always goes up. You always get a benefit. You don't add to this scoring thing where, oh, I answered one question to get 2 pips instead of 3. So now I have to hang out with them one entirely more time to get that 1 pip to go up. There's none of that. That's just gone. So travel time one way, gone. Social link time wasting, gone. Every class that your main guy can be has a passive that almost 80% of them play into overworld only victories. They want you, they encourage you to be overpowered, and they pepper unlevelable over mobs into harder dungeons that make you stop and fight and think, but not every dungeon. Like I said, the last 2 minor dungeons I did, I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, just hitting the attack button, and I won every battle but the boss that way. Every single one. That shit is fun, man. So like you can grind, you can spend as much time as you want in that place and clear it in a day, and you've only spent a calendar day, but you come out 20 levels ahead if you want. It's just, they've perfected it. They almost, it's just from where I am right now, they really didn't make any mistakes. They didn't carry any bum mechanics forward. Mechanics that you could get sick of. They Gesundheit. They don't overstay their welcome. Is what I'm trying to say.
I can't wait to play it. I cannot wait to play it. I really can't say enough good things about it. Under the lens of being a big Persona fan and feeling like P5 really did next to no wrong. I think there are so many people that high school thing doesn't appeal to, like me, that had to wait until basically seeing a streamer play through almost all of base 5 to be convinced to put the time into Royal. There's a reason that this really hit and like no other story game hit. I'm not in it for the story. I'm not in it to play a story game. The gameplay loop is that fucking addicting. It's just that fun, that varied, that much choice, that much reward. Yeah. Also knowing, you know, how much you like to grind, it almost seems like it's a game made for you and your playstyle.
And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to grind at all. You
Right,
really
right.
don't.
But the option, like the fact that you can do that and are rewarded in kind for it is beautiful. It's
Rewarded so much in kind. I mentioned I just started using my class experience up items, and I had 60 divided by 3. I had about 60 between 3 different types that start at 100, 500, and 1,000 that they give you. And I was in the dungeon about 2 hours grinding. The entire time getting experience doing laps. I used a little over half of those items, and I still have classes that I don't have unlocked, let alone whole classes on characters at level 1, whole branches to classes that I don't have. And I'm what I'll tell you, because it's really nice, because it's not spoilery at all, but it's kind of main stuff, so you can kind of gauge the game by it. The bond that you have with the Velvet Room person, I'm at rank 4 out of 10 right now, and that's the stuff that's really heavily gated by your ability to get classes and level them up. So like, for example, I can have other people up to rank 6 out of 10 right now. So this guy kind of lags behind. I'm only in, you know, conservatively or generously 40% of the game done, right? By what that guy says, and I would say not even that much. These games have a lot at the end.
Right.
40% of the game, and I already, after spending multiple hours in multiple dungeons and using over half of the items that give me experience, with the sole purpose of not to max things out, but only to max them out if I have to for the next tier. But just to get things to that level, to like have them to where I'm gonna like have them at 15 for a quest. I still, with all that grinding, with all the using of the items, I don't think that's worth the money. Oh, rocket launcher. I still have shit that I don't have access to, that I can't unlock yet, because even with all that grinding, I don't have enough characters and have so many classes available to me already. I still have one class that I need to get to 20 to unlock another one that's gonna still be at 1. And then that's gotta be leveled up from 1 because it only starts with 1 skill. And I love that, because that means that later on it's only going to get more complex. Later on the grind is only going to be more worthwhile. You're only going to get places that are more grindy. There's a literal NPC that told me, hey, so you know you can only get stronger by fighting enemies that challenge you. Sure, you can go kill the weak ones all you want for as long as you want, but at a certain point, to continue getting stronger, you gotta fight stronger enemies, which is basically saying in the dungeons where you are presented with enemies you can auto kill and enemies you can't, they damn well expect you to grind a little bit. You're not gonna be able to just beat every boss, even on normal, if you just kill the chafe, if you just kill the auto kill stuff. The game literally tells you that. It's also preparing me for a series of boss fights right now in the story where it's like you can only do one boss a day, and you're gonna have a heavy gimmick to them, so you gotta know exactly what their weakness is before you go in via an informant and via like this you have to go in and do reconnaissance of where you're gonna engage these bosses to like do a circuit and plan out your movements. And I don't know what that's gonna look like in execution yet, but it's basically like, hey, take this shit seriously, and every boss that you have to kill, all 5 of them, are side quests to go and like learn about them. Almost like it almost smacks of Shadows of Mordor in that way. You have to go get recon on all the chiefs and stuff. And so there's no way, even if that falls kind of flat on its face, there's no way that that's going to be like just a normal series of boss fights, right? It's what they kind of are telling you is that it's going to be turn gated, where you're only going to have like 5 turns to beat the boss, and then you auto die, and then it's on to the next boss. And so they're almost like a puzzle that you're going to have to figure out, and you have to go in knowing their weakness and prepared for it. And then like the next one, you have to switch and be ready for them. And again, 40% of the way through, probably not even that much. And there's already stuff like this where they could have saved that for the latter half of the game. A lot of RPGs do that, like save the army battle for last, save the actual unique kind of stuff for last. Like the biggest one I'm thinking of is Final Fantasy VI, where there are dungeons before the last one that show you, hey, you're gonna split your party up, so you're gonna have to level more than just 4 people. You can't
Right.
just have your 4-person squad and that's it. The final dungeon, you navigate 12 people between 3 parties, and that's the gimmick. That's just what you're in on. So it kind of smacks to that, where it's going to be really unique, and that's the last dungeon in that game. This is 40% through a game that's as long as Persona. So I'm really curious what the other characters are going to be. I'm really hoping there's not going to be a point where it's just like, okay, they led with the best they had. They led with the cutie man and you know, the strong elf lady and all the good quests and, you know, all the unique stuff, and then it just goes into 30 hours of tropes. But I don't know, man. It's been really good so far. Really
I'm
good.
sure it'll be a little tropey because that's just anime. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, if Persona didn't sell out on the characters, as long as theirs did, I highly doubt they'll do the same. They would do anything other than holding the same quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Except I can't wait to play it. I just gotta beat 16. I haven't been able to play that in a minute. It's all Brenda's fault.
I know that. I know how that goes.
It's not really her fault. We're just busy. But I'm gonna blame her.
Wow, have I gotten like no luck at all? This is crazy. Like, I need to get some luck. I like those though. Prep. This is one of my favorite tracks, for sure.
It's very cyberpunky.
It is. Oh, hey, speaking of, Dayton and I know I've seen all of it, and I was talking to you about it before, but we're 3 episodes into Edge Runners, and we're watching it with Dana.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what'd she think?
I mean, she really likes it.
Does she know that
she's-
her heart's about to be ripped out of her fucking
Yeah,
chest?
yep.
Good.
Yep. I told her just that song they play when they go to the
I
moon,
should
you
have
know, the
waited
one-
till it's on into
I'm
the
like, I think
cover.
that shit just about makes him bald just hearing and thinking about the actual context it comes from. I
Yeah.
lost myself. I don't even know if I'm alive right now. Wow, I survived,
Sure.
I don't know how.
I love that
Um,
song.
Yeah. I kind of prepped her for like, this is very dramatic. Like, there are feels with this, you know.
Yeah.
The word she used to describe it right now is fun. But the context, you have to understand that under is she's coming from Arcane.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
And
fun.
so she's being very hypercritical on the animation, not in a bad way, but I think when she says fun, she's really more thinking about the world building. Because she said, I'm at a disadvantage not knowing the game. I was like, yeah, but the first 2 episodes are only for you. They're not for me. They introduce you into all the lingo, what a cyber psycho is, what a fixer is, what a fucking
think-
Ripper Doc is. You get
I
a
mean-
crash course on the game.
I would argue, I wouldn't argue, I think it's fact, that the Cyberpunk revival doesn't happen without Edge Runner success. I think that's one of the biggest things that, like, they put the work in, but in the mainstream media, this really spurred a lot of people to, like, 1, try the game, or 2, give it another shot. And by the time this came out, it was at the right time, because the game was in a really good spot. So,
Well, not just that, but I'm telling Dana stuff like, yeah, the Sandy, that wasn't in the game, and now it is. I love it when media influences media like that in a good way. Of course, we all hate it when bad video game movies get made and shit, but like when they're like, hey, you know what would be cool to put in the game? That. And then they balance it. And they have to rebalance the entire game around fucking bullet time, like legit bullet time being added, but and that wasn't even the DLC. Like they could have waited for the DLC to push that shit out, but they're just like, no, we have to ride the hype of Edge Runners. Here's a bunch of shit that was in Edge Runners that's now in Cyberpunk because it makes all the sense in the world for it to be there. And that's just win-win-win, man. Both universes get bigger. So like I'm getting, you know, excited and more reverence for the game as I'm talking her through the shit that's the same, you know. And we've even gotten to like Atom Smasher where I'm like, that's the last boss. That is the last boss. He's the last boss. He's the biggest badass. You know why he has to die? It's because we kill him. It's because you, the player, still ultimately have to kill him. And they did such a smart thing. Sorry, David. They did such a smart thing not letting him do it. Because we have to do it. We have to canonically do it. And it's the literal last boss. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's in the DLC. I know it's not in the DLC, but like, fucking, you beat Atom Smasher and then you make a fucking decision about what happens to the goddamn world, you know. And even on a, you know, well, I don't know. I played it on very hard the first time. He's a bitch.
Well, I haven't even.
That guy was one of the hardest bosses I've fought in any video game to date in like a long time. Short of like Sekiro bosses. He was so hard, man. He sticks to you like glue. He jumps up and down. He hurts. Like you hear about how badass he is, and then you actually live it in the fight. And Edge Runners is so smart to end on him being like, good, but not good enough. Because guess who is? You, the player at home. Go play this fucking video game. Like, it really, yeah, it leaves you with that feeling like that. Like, it's just smart all around. And just good. I mean, there's some stuff, again, I've got the first 3 episodes of season 2 of Arcane colored glasses on.
I haven't
will
even watched
say-
the second season yet.
It's so good. I mean,
I don't
it's
have-
everything people say it is. But I do have to say, I get it, it's a cyberpunk world building, but like a lot of David's lines are really like I hate lie. There's just a lot of cringy lines that kind of just have to be there.
It's
And,
very
you know-
cyberpunky, like, you know, dystopian hell.
Yep. It kind of needs to be there, but like it lacks a bit of nuance that again is with some of the best media ever produced, colored glasses on, you know, like this is the year. Hey, what up, Dolk? Like this is the year that I watched Shogun. Penguin is kind of mind blowing thus far. I think we finished Succession this year. Like just the first 3 episodes of fucking Arcane already are good enough. Like it's a pretty, they have stiff competition, and again, it's a trope that works in that universe. It is the trope of that universe, but that's like the only negative thing I can say about it. Like honestly, and I'm never gonna say this in front of my wife because my wife is hardcore Arcane stan. I actually like some of the, I'm gonna call them practical effects, visual effects of Cyberpunk more than Arcane. And where I'm talking specifically is their use of smoke in Arcane, their use of transparent elements that are supposed to represent like dirt and dust. They choose to go a very cartoony spin on them, and it does work in the universe of Arcane, but it is not my favorite thing. And every single time I see a scene that has smoke or you know, shiny bits or whatever they use that layer for, I'm only paying attention to it. I am only paying attention to it, and not the drama, not two sisters in one of the most emotional tellings, in one of the best use of facial animations, and in not live action. Like, the characters live and breathe in a way that is almost unfair to other animation.
Well, I kind of view it as like Arcane is a spectacle, much in the same sense that Into the Spider-Verse is. Like
Yeah.
Like
I agree
they
with
both give me the same vibe, where they're fantastic story, fantastic visuals. They're doing very truly original and artistic things all throughout. It is you gotta love what you're doing to do that, and you know it's awesome. But like, I don't know. I would never I think the animation styles are too different to compare between Cyberpunk and.
If you're comparing them solely on quality, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
They're apples and oranges.
But like, I don't know. I know that Arcane is emotional, but I have never. I felt awful things watching Edge Runners, and it made me want to play Cyberpunk. I felt a lot watching the first season of Arcane, but it didn't make me want to play League of Legends.
And that's where I call my wife a Arcane stan. It makes her want to play it all day. But I'm very curious, because I mean, Edge Runners is not a very long ride. Doesn't take very long to kick in.
And
Okay.
No, I'd argue that the second half is where it truly shines. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
The first episodes are to just get you in, to get you acclimated, to make you enjoy things, and then it's like, now this is why we're here, bitch. Get ready to cry, motherfucker, and you do.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think some of that will hit for her as well.
Wait till you get to the one episode.
But also, now that I'm saying it aloud, I think the thing about Arcane that has Dana up is her sister is like her best friend and probably the most important person in her life, but at the same time kind of a controversial figure in her life. So her and her sister are just like totally 110% Arcane pilled, because they just put themselves in the shoes of Vi and Jinx.
Gotcha. They're all.
They will never be able to see their own bias in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. Like, the reason that Arcane is not going to be Arcane anymore when it is whatever the animation or movie is that comes next is because it can't possibly be that story about two sisters anymore. They're ending it.
I think that's a good thing though, and much.
Absolutely.
And I think this is also something that Edge Runners did correctly. It's like, they have a story to tell. They're going to tell it. There's going to be no filler. There's going to be no unnecessary parts of it. Like, all of this is necessary.
Or promises.
Yeah.
Oh, that leaves the door wide open. Why wouldn't you do more? Yeah. Doesn't play with you.
Did you see that Studio Trigger did say they're going to do more Cyberpunk animes though?
I don't know explicitly, but you saying that doesn't surprise me, so I think I might have. I'm trying. Actually gotta play this game for a minute. Okay. No, so maybe not explicitly, but I think maybe when I had seen it originally, that information was out and you told me, because it doesn't come as a surprise.
Yeah, I believe they're not doing. They will not be doing. We'll call it Edge Runners 2. So, like, Edge Runners is done. We're done with that, which I think is awesome. I personally, like, if I get a wish list for this project, like, Edge Runners was the fucking Street Kid. Was it the Street Kid? Yeah.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
so then
I want
the question is the second one going to be Corpo or is it going to be
Nomad.
the fucking
Nomad.
Yeah.
I think it should be.
Nomad.
It is the most polar opposite to what we just got. And I think that in Cyberpunk, that whole Nomad thing is like, on paper, very cool concept. In game, dumb. Not utilized properly at all. It's
Yeah.
just a group of people in a desert. That's it. Like, I think
And-
that.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No.
No, I just think that, like, an anime, like, as good as they did of expanding the lore and paying homage to the existing lore, if they were to do that for the Nomad thing, I think that it would just, it would new appreciation.
I think it's ripe for it because you're right. It was underutilized, and I think it was underutilized primarily because it was all to give you 3 options, because 3 options is good. It's kind of the holy trinity of options. Too many more than that, those options sometimes become diluted. 2 options, that's not enough options. So they had to go with 3. And I think the other big reason is Pan Am. I think they thought Pan Am, or they wrote her to be such like the bombshell, the one that you go with if you're a man, that they figured they could get away with her depth of character, the Mad Max style. I think they probably wrote the Nomads thin because of how much shit you have to do with Pan Am, and they're just like, she'll carry it. She doesn't. I don't dislike Pan Am, but she's not a Judy. She doesn't have the depth. And that lack of depth is, I think, to your point, represented by the Nomads overall. But again, I think they just relied too much on her and the sex you can have with her and the sex car, and you're plugged into the car and the car, and you're having sex with her in the car. But
the sex car was aggressive. I remember.
I didn't do it. I've never done it. I've only been a
Oh my
female.
God.
I've never been a male Z.
Oh my God! I did
I
it.
saw someone do it.
I did it, and I was like, when it was happening, I remember being like, my word! I'm just sitting in the basement by myself, like, this is intense. What the fuck's going on?
That my other buddy used for it.
Yeah,
He was
intense.
He was like, yo, man, that shit is intense. You plug into the car, you like jack into the car. He's like, and he's not this is like a Call of Duty guy. Like, that's what he plays. He played Call of Duty, and wow, he ate my ass. I thought we were doing too good for 17, and then life hit. This is like Call of Duty, bro, right? Like, not a lot kind of puts him off, and he's like, that shit was intense, bro. You plug into the car, it's just fucking intense, man.
I liked it. Well, it's very intense and alarming, but it was also the most Ghost in the Shell thing they've done in that show, or in the game.
We come full circle, because that's the other thing that Dana said. Dana was like immediately like, oh yeah, I don't have to compare this stuff.
Sorry.
Honestly, dude, for D4, for fucking chattering like we were heroes. I couldn't believe I came out of my fucking stupor and we were at wave 17, honestly.
Yeah.
With the fucking brain power I'm giving Brotato. She was immediately like, oh, she's like, okay. She is dressed like the Major, has the Major's haircut, kind of talks like the Major. I'm already in. This is way more Ghost in a Shell than Arcane. So she's just like, this is very Ghost in the Shell. I'm like, what you have to understand about Cyberpunk is that it's not a very large group of tropes. And what I really admire about Ghost in the Shell is how mature of a story they were able to tell while still being badass and playing into those tropes. And so Cyberpunk is very unapologetic about it being kind of a mishmash of all Cyberpunk elements. And yeah, it has the tie-ins to the tabletop for like rule sets and stats and stuff. But let's be real, all Cyberpunk, pretty much since Blade Runner, has kind of been taken from the same palette, I would say.
Yeah,
and
I
same
think
with
that
steampunk, same with really, any medieval, but I kind of was like, that's fair, and it's not. I don't think Cyberpunk is trying to be Ghost in the Shell. I think they're just all trying to take from the same genre, you know?
Oh, for sure. I want it to be Ghost in the Shell though. Like that's why my first playthrough of that game, I was a hacker because I was like, this is Ghost in the Shell. Like I'm fucking killing people through fucking cameras, and like I'm standing outside of the building pretending that I'm a fucking civilian.
Nanowire.
Yeah,
I don't
all
know
the
if they ever
nanowire.
have anything like Nanowire in Ghost in the Shell, but that is the most Ghost in the Shell shit I've ever seen it, apart from a Tajikoma. And let me tell you, if you could be a hacker that had a little Tajikoma, you make him 1/4 the size, but have him crawl around on your shoulder and have him be a little hacker bot. Boom, new expansion. You're welcome, CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Just put a Tajikoma in. I play that. I would go back to it instantly.
God, could you imagine if they did some sort of
imagining.
Ghost in the Shell cross like tie-in
Ooh.
to Cyberpunk? Like
Oh,
like
man.
like it's like a little supporter pack almost. Like get a bunch of cosmetics, like do like a cool little quest line,
England.
add like some famous guns, like a fucking souped up P90. Like shit, dude. Add
Dude, I'm telling you, Tajikomas would just, you could slap them down in the game with no explanation whatsoever, and people be like, yep, those, sure, yeah. Walking spider bots, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely in this universe. You
Well,
don't even have to call them something else, even.
it kind of
Just-
existed in the big tutorial mission, like in the hotel.
Yeah,
That little
yeah.
spider that you got.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. So,
I'm excited for CD Projekt Red's next game because I believe it's going to be a remake of the first Witcher, but like a director's cut remake.
yep.
And I
Yeah.
can't, because boy, I don't know if you've ever played that game. It's not good.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I think we've had this talk pretty recently. But
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't matter. We got chat here. No, I played that recently enough. So what I did is quite a few years ago, I played through 1 all the way, and I had played a lot of 1 up until that point, but never beat it. I beat it. I went into 2 with my save file, beat it. Went into 3 with that save file. I have gotten Siri, and then I stopped playing 3. And I have done
Oh.
every side quest I physically can up to that point. So I've done a lot of the game, and then I just have been back to it. That's my exposure to Witcher.
You've not played the DLC?
No. neither of them.
Oh,
I have them both.
yellow. That's a shame.
I have beat every opponent I can possibly beat in the world up until this point in Gwent. I have done every side quest I possibly can, all the weapon upgrades, all the armor upgrades. I milked the game. That's the only
Yeah.
word for it. I milked it.
I didn't do that.
It's always my demise, you know. I milk it, and that's after coming off of 2 and 1. Just lost steam. Nothing bad about the game. I mean, like, is the combat my favorite thing? No, but like, not bad enough that I'm not going to go back to it. I just got lost in the sea, you know.
Especially with that game, it is so large. Like,
Yeah.
I even said, like, I played the fuck out of it. And I was like, I'm only going to do what interests me. Problem is, a lot of stuff interests me. But I will say that, like, I know this is out there. I'm sure 1,000 people have told me this, but, like, DLC is better than the game. I think. I think Blood and
Oh, yeah.
Wine.
No, it's
Is-
Blood and Wine. I've heard is like some of the best video game content, especially story wise, ever created, if not the best.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so crazy how, like, the first 2 Witchers, it's almost like they were scared to tell, like, the right story. Because, like, in the first game, you're even met with, like, a child who's very clearly supposed to be, like, a knockoff Siri, because they talk about
Yep.
all the same things with Siri, but they didn't want to do that storyline. They were scared, you know? The only the big tie-in from the book was, there's a lot of tie-ins from the book, but, like, the main villain is some dude named the Professor, and like he's actually some weird, inconsequential dude in the book, so it's like a cool little callback, but not that important. Second game, I thought they did a good job like cooking
They
in
did.
the world, but ultimately none of that fucking matters.
Yeah, it's true.
Third game,
I mean, some of the stuff that happens at the very end, but it's very RPG in that way where it's like they want to toddle you along, like all the stuff you're doing up until the end matters, but really until that summit starts, nothing has happened in that in the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
third
And
game,
it's just like plot, 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 game over.
Yeah. yeah, which was fine. But with the third game, I don't know why, like they got the balls all of a sudden to be like, oh, what if we just continue the book story instead of like pussyfooting around it? Like, what do you
Probably
mean?
resources like anything else, you know?
Yeah, but like, it's so crazy. Like, it's nuts. It's just it's a perfect love letter to anybody who's read the books because it picks up literally where the book ends, and the book had an ending that didn't need to be continued, which is the most impressive part about all of this. It's like every loose end you could have thought of. They were like, what this, bam, bam, bam. And then you beat the game, you're so satisfied, and you go to Blood and Wine, and somehow they do it again. Like three is so good.
It is,
Three-
but there's one thing that you're leaving out completely to go back to metaphor. The gameplay, man. Can we be honest with ourselves? It's just not always that fun, man. It just isn't. When you do all those quests and you're swinging your blade and you're on your horse and you're swinging your blade and you're dodging an Igni, and yeah, you got all the spells, but like the game is just straight up dull to play sometimes. And when it's that long, like I'm not blaming myself for losing interest and say poor me. I think I did it the right way because I did all of the chores. When I do go back, which I will, I have now waited out long enough to play it in the HD version. That wasn't even out when I quit. So now I'll have it in 1440p at a better FPS, taking advantage of my machine. And I will have every side quest done up until that point. And I was looking at a spreadsheet of all the quests in the game, including the DLC. I have done like 70% of the side quests in the base game already,
That's
as far as what I'm offered. So when I do go back, it's all gravy. It is all cream. It is all the best content of the base game. Make the decisions and the base game. Then I'm into the real joy from what I hear of the two expansions. So
yeah, they're both good. But like,
I had just enough steam to get the chores done and then leave myself at a point where I think I can pretty well pick it up and kind of know the big beats of what have happened and then finish it out.
I personally didn't hate the combat. Like, I don't think it's like
I
the
don't
most
hate the combat.
Yeah, the most stellar, but like one of my favorite games is Mass Effect, and boy, you want to talk about bad combat, it's Mass Effect 1. So
Yeah. I see. I have a hot take on that. I don't actually think ones was that bad when you compare it to 2 and 3. And the only thing that makes me say that is like some of the aiming with the weapons. So I feel like 2 and 3 became cover shooters. 100% cover shooter. And I don't feel like 1 was really a cover shooter. Maybe I'm misremembering, but like I remember having more. I remember sniping a lot more in 1 and having a lot more freedom to snipe around corners and get good vantage points and set up ambushes. Now, everything else, player AI was dog shit comparatively, enemy variety. Everything else, you cannot argue that it just didn't get better. But That's an opinion I hear all the time, and I don't hear disputed very often. That is just so much worse. I actually think there were things that they were trying in one that maybe didn't work, but they just flat out ditched for the interest in more simple combat. Because I don't love the combat of 2 and 3 either. And I put up with it because there's enough of an RPG element, and you get buddies, and you don't have to just be a sniper. You can be, shotgunner and stuff, but yeah, I don't think that combat was super revolutionary either. It was kind of like, okay, you got some shit around the corner, go out the cover. Okay, pop out, now you need to reload, shoot your thing or buff your guy and send them in to flank. Okay, they're levitated. It was kind of paint by numbers, which it's an RPG too. I think it's okay to be like that. They're splitting their time between storytelling and music and choices and all that, but
See, for me, like going from 1 to 2 was like a breath of fresh air for
I can
me.
see that. Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like the first was still a cover shooter, but I just think that there's definitely they definitely leaned into cover in the second one, but that's because getting into cover was so much more fluid. Like, and bottom line, there was no headshot damage. You could snipe, and it didn't matter if you shot somebody in the head. So what's the point of a fucking sniper if I can't shoot people in the head and have it do more damage?
See, and so you say that, and I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know that, but I played through one just fine, not knowing that. So I think that's just a commentary on like priorities. I guess that didn't really bug me. I didn't even notice. So
because I also played as a sniper and I loved it, and like I've beaten Mass Effect 1 twice now. It's like I beat it myself, and I've gone back and did a much more
like Renegade or whatever. Or...
No, I just played with Brenda to show her, but I didn't fuck around and do the first time I played it. I was like, man, I'm in this world,
Yeah.
I don't care how bad the Mako controls. Let me explore this planet. This time, I was like, I ain't getting in that fucking quad unless I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the legendary, the changes they made in the legendary edition really helped it, because they changed the weapon system to be more closer to the rest of the game. Because before you could only equip certain weapons, and there was this really weird sway mechanic. So they tweaked that in the Legendary Edition. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so worried about Mass Effect 5 now that I've seen what the writing in Veilguard is. I don't even know if we're going to get a Mass Effect 5 at this point. So...
You saw the post though, right?
Yeah, I know they
Someone
said
from
that
the team is like, so I mean, whether or not that is a bold-faced lie or they're just not going to do it, there is someone on that team that's really like, yo, we know our shit's not going to be like that.
I didn't see that. All I saw was them officially saying that, we're shifting all of our people to work on Mass Effect. Thanks for playing Veilguard.
Oh, no. There was a person, and I feel really bad because it's a credible source I heard this from, but I don't know, what their role is on the game. But they have a role on the new Mass Effect, story, something high up. And they said, in light of Dragon Age, and essentially the controversy around it, we want to assure you, and it was specifically on the young adult themes and how nothing dramatic actually happens in Dragon Age. They're like, we want to assure you that the theme of the new Mass Effect game will remain mature as always. And that was a public statement from someone on the team who was with a company that also released the game that was like, look, I know you all have concerns. They're valid. We have not changed this formula. Don't get scared by this other product that we did. But yeah, someone came out and literally said that.
I'll believe
don't worry, the tone at least. But
I'll believe it when I see it, because like
Yeah,
you
for sure.
can't, you literally can't be what my favorite videos. Some of my favorite videos are the Shepherd is an asshole videos on YouTube. Have you ever seen them?
No.
It's just a rough, like a quick cut compilation of different Renegade options in Mass
Mhm.
Effect, but it's really fucking funny because like how much of a dick you could be in Mass Effect. You can't be mean in Veilguard. Every time you select like the mean option, it's just like not mean. And I'm like,
Well,
I'm not saying. Go ahead.
Here's the other thing I heard though, because you had said that the other day, and I knew about this. And then you also said another thing which I knew about, but there is. I want to put the pieces together for chat specifically. You can get one person to hate you.
That's it.
If you put all of your angst into one person, you can get one person and only one person to hate you. But this is the part that you did say the other day. They'll still fuck you.
Yeah.
As though they didn't hate you. How can you have a fucking system that is totally divorced from the appeal system? I get hate fucking, but that's not what happens in the game. That would be too edgy. That'd be the only edgy thing that happened in Veilguard is hate fucking. But it's like you kind of said it yourself the other day when we weren't live. You were like, they get like amnesia. They just forget they hate you, and you can just go on with them.
It's just such a. It's
And then
so.
one person. It's like a condition that only one person can have. The disease of not loving you. It's absurd.
Meanwhile, like, I remember vividly me booting up Mass Effect 2, like, on my fucking 360. Like, I love this game. I can't wait to see what wonders await me today. I boot it up and go on the fucking Normandy, and fucking Miranda and Jack are ripping their fucking heads off at each other. And guess what? I didn't have enough points to successfully diffuse the situation. I had to make a fucking decision. One of them fuckers is gonna hate me, and it wasn't gonna be Miranda. So, it's like, but like that tension was such a cool moment. And it's like that.
And like, yeah.
Same company.
No, I remember even following a guide, I was tense because I wanted Rex to like me, and he's like the hardest one to get on your team. That's my biggest problem with the franchise is
Shepherd.
They had the fucking audacity to put a different Krogan in 3, and you get to meet Rex, and he's like, go fuck some things, kid. That's what you're born to do. Go fuck things up and fuck things. That's what a Krogan does. And then Rex sends a little baby clone. It's not even a clone of Rex, if I remember right. Just fucking clone baby. And it's like, you made me love Rex. And then I did the impossible. I made Rex fall in love with me. And then you pull him from the fucking game. You pull him from the universe. Then he's just a granddaddy spanking the little ones on the ass as they get some on Chachanga. Fuck that, man. Give me that fucking crazy motherfucker. I earned him in 2.
Listen,
there was
man.
nothing but tension. You're like, oh, was it enough? Was it enough? Was it enough? Did I save him? And you have to do everything right with him, or he just fucks off.
Or even in the first one, like, there's a part where it's like, hey, if you don't do everything right, and if he doesn't like you, you're gonna have to fucking gun him down like a sick dog.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay.
There are multiple pinch points with him. With single characters, there are multiple do and die moments.
Right.
Yeah, like,
the entire fucking second game ending mission, the suicide mission, if you didn't do the planetary stuff, the multiplayer, which Mass Effect 2 multiplayer is so good. What a beauty. And I'll miss it forever. But like, if you didn't have all the relationships up and your galactic standing all the way up, guess what? People were gonna fucking die.
Dead. Oh yeah. No, I humped the guide, man. I couldn't. I liked 1 enough. Like all the faults that 1 had, it was a good enough game that I came out of it positive. I wanted to know what was gonna happen. Liara was my girl. Like I wanted to keep that going as long as I could. And when I hit 3, I was like, oh, I backed the right pony there.
So now that Halo has completely failed in the live action sphere.
Oh, did you hold on? Stop for a moment, because I am really gonna get to talk about Halo. Did you see did you see the third person? Did you see third person Halo?
No.
They're doing third person Halo. That's their genius idea to revitalize Halo. They're the third person. That's all I have to say about it.
Oh God.
Look it up. It's a real thing. There are visuals and trailers out there. Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
weird. I know they became like Halo Studios now and all that, and they're moving to a new engine. But basically, now that Halo has gone through multiple failed, like we've had 2 seasons of a show that was awful, but like they've tried to make movies multiple. It's been through the Hollywood machine. It just failed. Hasn't worked. I'm telling you, you get the right person, Mass Effect would be a home run.
Yeah.
Just it's generic fucking space cowboy American fucking saves the world.
There are enough characters in it, you know.
Huh? Oh yeah.
There are enough characters. Like the characters are strong enough. Like, you know, you do the fucking prosthetics up, or, you know, for like a practical effects. What's the scientist guy?
Warden?
I don't remember his name. I think he's only in 3. He's the guy that can help with the genophage.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't like him. I didn't dig his whole I'm a neurotic scientist who's rude. But like they're just whole races that just seeing them on TV in a movie, whatever. Like, yeah, home run for sure.
And like you could do a lot of really cool practical prosthetics to like make these aliens come to life. Because like there's a couple that are completely out of here, but a lot of them are kind of humanoid, or at least, you know, the main character ones. So like you don't have to work too hard. I mean, cosplayers have half of it down. Just look at what they do and do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a live action Mass Effect could do really well. Like
Honestly, you could Star Trek it at that point. You just make it like lean into the Star Cowboy stuff and make it like, oh, what's that Normandy up to this week, boys? Like, you can just fucking make it that.
I think it would be even cooler if like we started it before. Like, you could do it very Star Trek, but like let's get a whole season of fucking Mass Effect that leads up to the first game. You know what I'm saying? Like the end of the game, you're finding out that, hey, you're about to do a fucking special mission on the Normandy. It's like, oh fuck. Or the end of the season. Like you could do so much with it. I don't know. Home run.
I mean, Seth Green is already there. Like, just get him to fucking do his shit again.
Yeah, Tom Cruise could be Shepard. Like, what could go wrong?
Oh God. I think they should do the ballsy thing and do FemShep.
Yeah.
I think you got way more options with FemShep, because I think male Shepard runs the risk of being a cardboard cutout, which I think you kind of almost have to do him that way. FemShep, though, I don't know, man. I think you got some latitude with how you can play her, how you can cast FemShep.
You could do both, which would be weird, but you could do both.
How would you do both?
I would, you could, how I would do it, which is dumb, but I would have brother and sister, and I would do a dual perspective series where they're on different missions, and things kind of start getting weird, and they have to take on the Geth threat together. Or like maybe she could be posted on Eden Prime. You know, you don't know where the fuck she is, and she pops up later.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick one, I think you pick Femship. Unless there's like a dude that is like so perfect that's like, well, it's got to be him. But I can't think of anybody off the top of my
I
head.
just think you put like a sassy British brunette in the shepherd outfit, and you kind of have her be more on the masculine side, and that's just like,
Femship's just a vibe.
it is a vibe. I think you just got so much more range there, and like we're in a time where people want to see that shit. I just think the male shepherd is, you can't really do him without making him just a hard on.
Yeah.
Now you could do him like a purposely like somewhat renegade male shepherd.
Oh man,
But
Renegade.
you could do a renegade femme shep, and that shit would be gold too. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but
That's
that
tough.
would be the way to do a male shepherd. You couldn't do, because like honestly, dude, a male shepherd done the traditional way is just gonna be like a generic Fallout character almost, just like totally fucking sterile.
I still need
Um,
to watch that show, Fallout.
That's another one this year. That was just fucking. It's so good, man. It's really good.
Alrighty, bud. I gotta start cooking dinner. I'm getting hungry.
Sounds good. I should do the same. Some food.
I'm bummed we couldn't get to Enshrouded, but I mean, I wish we got to play something, get a little stream in.
Honestly, what I would do if I were you, I don't have a lot of hope for it, but launch the game when you're not streaming. You
Yeah.
know streaming shit can do some weird stuff. If it was just the CPU, I would think one of those values would have worked. If it's just that.
It almost seemed like it got worse. Now, you know what? Another thing I'd like to try is I don't know if we talked about this. We probably have, but Steam has a new like recording thing. That
I
like
think
it
I've
can,
seen it, but
it's
we haven't
very
talked
cool,
about it.
very cool. I have it on. So this was the first time streaming since I turned it on. So I was technically recording gameplay in the background while streaming my gameplay. So that could have been a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of that stuff can conflict in ways that you wouldn't think, I guess. Or I have weird shit that only happens when I stream some games.
No, absolutely. I feel that.
Yeah, that's it's worrisome at the same time, like even though it's working for me now, Uncharted was a game that was like crashing due to that stuff, and I had to adjust the values and whatever, so
At least like I've been pretty good, all things considering. So since I made that change that one night. But anyway, bud, thanks so much for streaming with me. I'll try to figure this out off stream and maybe we can try an Enshrouded stream again.
well, yeah, and what I'm saying is like we could even just try to play it
Oh,
ourselves without
Yeah.
streaming it first, because
Correct, yeah.
I'm excited to play it regardless of the stream.
Yeah,
But it is
me
a
too.
game that I'm definitely down to stream, so we can
One of
give it a
these-
trial run first.
One of these days we got to get Dave on with us so we can all play. I think that'd be fun.
I mean, always the more the merrier with those type of games, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right, bud. Enjoy the rest of your night, man, and I'll talk to you later.
You too. Have a good night.
Peace. All right, chat. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll probably be streaming again this week because